Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at Meta. Meta is essentially announcing that they might be making more layoffs. If we have a look at the latest news, Meta is about to start rating more workers as below expectations. This has been shown by an internal memo. Why does this matter? Well, again, like I say, likely this is going to guide the way that they approach their employees and their employment going forwards. A company like Meta has been known to make layoffs in the past year, 2 years. Since 2023, realistically, the company's been making quite substantial layoffs. Again, mainly citing that company employees, some of them are below expectations. And again, that is in a lot of the instances that we've seen, the main reason for layoffs or job cuts in general. So that's the context, that's why it matters. Now let's have a look at what's actually going on. Meta has instructed managers to rank more employees in its below expectations performance rating. The mid-year reviews could set the stage for performance-based cuts, and again, that's what I was kind of alluding to. The move follows the CEO Mark Zuckerberg's internal announcement to move out low performers faster. Now, Meta is expanding the ranks of its lowest rated employees in their mid-year performance reviews. Months after they laid off 4,000 employees who were labelled as low performers. This is the way that they categorize these people. Now, they're telling managers to set their below expectations tier, obviously the lowest performance bucket, during the next set of mid-year performance reviews quite more substantially. So for teams of 150 or more, Meta wants to put 15 to 20% of employees in the bottom bucket compared to just 12 to 15% last year. Do bear in mind, we even saw substantial job cuts in Meta last year anyway, so bringing that up to potentially 20%, the numbers could be obviously a lot more substantial, a lot more shocking when it comes to the potential figures for layoffs anyway. So what we're seeing here is part of a non-regrettable attrition. Meta's been doing this for quite some time, and again, they are looking now for these performance-based cuts yet again. So the mid-year performance review process is an opportunity to make exit decisions, the memo said. It added that there will be no company-wide performance terminations, unlike earlier in the year, and the leaders are expected to manage the performance of their reports. So managers can select employees for data, or performance cuts I should say, based on criteria including a below expectations rating on their mid-year review, if they were formally disciplined within the past 6 months, or if they've had employee relations. So you can kind of see what's going on here, right? You can kind of see the sort of logic. This is set to begin on the 16th of June. Conversations between managers and employees are scheduled for July and August, obviously following that. So this is quite interesting. Again, this comes just a couple months after Meta laid off about 5% of its workforce, 4,000 employees. An internal document suggests that such layoffs could become an annual fixture, with the CEO Mark Zuckerberg saying he's decided to raise the bar on performance and management to move out low performers faster. This is quite interesting, guys, if you have a little think about it, and we'll get to that in a second, but the mid-year targets echo a move made in 2022, where they doubled the share of employees placed in its lowest performance categories during these annual reviews. At the time, managers were instructed to classify up to 16.5% of staff as underperformers, up from 7% or to 12% in the previous range. So why does this all matter? Well, obviously, it is likely to affect more and more jobs, and again, in a time where the jobs market is already so difficult to navigate, that is a story by itself. However, this does speak to a big corporate trend, and it doesn't matter whether you think it's good or bad. I'm sure people are going to have their opinions on it. The reality of today's job market is that more and more people are losing their jobs. It's increasingly more difficult to maintain a job, to keep a job, and companies are expecting more and more from their employees. Now the question is, do you think that's right? Is it fair? Or are tech companies simply being too greedy and setting their expectations too high? I'll leave you guys in the comments to let me know. Do let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for your time, and I do hope I'll see you again soon. Goodbye for now, guys. See you again.